They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Usually, a revenge plan is hatched for a very long time so that later, at the most opportune moment to take revenge on the offender. People are most subject to this feeling, but animals sometimes understand at the levels of instincts that revenge is not the best way to restore justice. Evil begets evil, but good always comes back with good. Today, we will tell you a story with an important lesson. This story is about help, care, and betrayal, about how people reacted to a wolf and how he repaid them, whether the animal chose revenge or refused it in favor of a good deed. It happened in a remote village located near the forest. The village was slowly dying out, all the young people left for the city, and only the elderly people remained. One of those elderly men worked all his life as a local forest ranger. He no longer had as much strength to walk through the forest, but there was no one else to do his work, so he continued to do it, just slower. His wife had passed away long ago, and his adult daughter lived in the city, rarely coming to visit. She had a son whom she brought to the village for the summer while she went on vacation. The grandfather was looking forward to the arrival of his beloved grandson because he brightened his life. This year, the boy turned 7 years old. In early June, his mother brought him to the village and promised that he would stay with his grandfather until the end of August. The boy was happy that he could spend the whole summer with his grandfather because his grandfather taught him everything he knew about the forest. Together, they went on long walks, and the boy breathed in the fresh air with pleasure and admired the nature. On one of these walks, the boy found a pup in the forest, and he happily brought him to his grandfather. He immediately determined that it was a little wolf pup and his mother could be nearby, which would be very dangerous. However, they then came across the body of a she-wolf, most likely killed by poachers, and it became clear that the wolf pup would likely not be able to survive on its own. So they brought him home. The man built an enclosure for the pup, and the boy played with him all day long, fed him, and became his best friend. The summer passed quickly, the mother came for her son, and it was time to say goodbye. The boy cried because he wasn't allowed to take the wolf to the city, but his grandfather promised that he would raise him until next summer when the boy would return. With tears in his eyes, he left, but then the wolf seemed to get ill after that. He refused food and water, lay in his enclosure for days on end, and seemed to have lost all the will to live. The man would go into the enclosure to play with him and pet him, but the pup did not recognize him. He considered the boy to be his real master, and he thought that he had been betrayed and abandoned. After all, you can't explain to the wolf that the boy needs to go to school, and it was not his fault that he was taken to the city. The beast was simply offended. The man was seriously worried about the wolf, and one evening he opened the door to the enclosure. The wolf ran out so quickly and rushed headlong into the forest without even looking back. A year passed, and soon his grandson would be back again. Knowing that he would be worried about the fact that the wolf had run away, his grandfather got another puppy, this time a dog, a German Shepherd. When the boy arrived, he was so worried that the wolf had run away, but soon the new puppy made him forget about his sorrows, and the boy played with him with great pleasure. Once he went with the puppy to the river to collect pebbles. It was impossible to swim there because of the strong and cold current, but suddenly the puppy fell into the water. The boy, without any hesitation, rushed after him. The water was so icy that it instantly paralyzed the little boy, and he lost consciousness. He woke up on the shore. He was wet and very cold, and next to him there was a big wolf. The boy peered into his eyes and recognized him as his friend from last year. He rushed to him, wanted to hug him, but the wolf did not even let him touch him. Then he silently disappeared into the forest. Nearby, there was the German Shepherd puppy. The wolf, having heard the boy, did not hesitate to come to his aid. He even saved his dog, but he could not forgive the separation. He did not even let himself be touched, showing the boy that he had not forgotten the betrayal, but because they saved his life, he decided to save theirs. So, friends, even animals can be grateful, no matter what offense or betrayal, because the wolf was unaware that the boy was not guilty. The wolf even saved his dog, and then silently left them on the shore, making sure that the danger had passed. We need to follow the example of this wolf and not indulge in such a terrible feeling as revenge, but replace it with love and compassion, and then our world will become a little better and a little kinder.